Junkie, welcome to my channel. Today we are getting into the Kerastase Luxury Hair Care Collection Curl Manifesto. This is the new curly hair collection and I am very excited to finally talk about this. I got all my products. I've tried them out for a couple weeks now. So, overview of this video, I'm going to do timestamps below so you can jump to the product you're most interested in. So I'm going to give an overview of each product first, and then I'll do my demo on my hair, and then I'll get into the final thoughts and review. So let's get into it. Curl Manifesto. What is this line about? The highlighted ingredients in this collection are mucuna honey and ceramides, and the fragrance running throughout each of the 7 products is called Floral Manifesto. And that is tuberose, frangipani flowers, white musk, and honey. And the scent is so good. If you love a white floral, you're gonna love the smell of this collection. So this is designed for curly and coily hair, and it's supposed to give you hydration, definition, strength for all shapes and textures. So this is made from wavy all the way to coily. An important note in this line, it's supposed to preserve and enhance your natural shape, make your hair look soft and bouncy. So keep that in mind as we go through each product. So let's start with the shampoo. It is called Bain Hydration Douceur. This is the gentle, hydrating, creamy shampoo. And it says on the bottle it's for curly, very curly, and coily hair. I'm just going to note right off the bat that there are 7 products in the collection, and it seems like they're really meant to work, supposed to work for every curl type. They don't really differentiate from the products. They say no matter the curly hair you have, you can pretty much use any one of the products. They do have bundles depending on your hair type, and some of the products they may recommend for you over others, but when you look at each individual one, they don't really say, oh, curly should use this and coily should use that. So just keep that in mind. They have one shampoo only, and is this one. It's a gentle shampoo. I used it tonight. I just washed and conditioned my hair from the products in this collection, and it's drying very rapidly. And so this shampoo got the mucuna honey, the ceramides. It is sulfate free, which I know a lot of you will be happy about. It is 80. This one is the travel size. This is not the full bottle. So I got all travel sizes, by the way. This is 80 milliliters, $21. There's a 250 milliliter size, which is their normal size. That is $35. They do not have a giant one yet. So sulfate free, but it does have humectants, some conditioning agents, some clarifying ingredients, some cleansing agents, and some gentle cleansers. So here's the shampoo. I want to just show you what it looks like so you guys can see the gentle shampoo. It's kind of a gel slash cream. I know this isn't like super helpful, but sometimes you want like a live idea of what this is like. It smells so good. It's gel-like, but it's not completely see-through, and when you're working it into your hair, you can feel how it's not like a clear gel shampoo. It's a bit creamier. Because I know some of you that have curly hair are going to be interested in knowing if these products are curly girl friendly. If you don't know what curly girl is, I don't really want to get into it too much in this video, but basically the whole idea behind the curly girl method, you can Google it. It's also meant for guys and whoever that has this kind of hair or curlier. Basically the idea is that if you use a sulfate-free shampoo, it's a shampoo that doesn't use harsh cleansers, because those type of cleansers dry out your hair, and yes, they really cleanse your hair, they get rid of everything, but they strip all your hair of natural moisture. But there's a need, sometimes there's a real need for those types of shampoos because they get rid of not only like dirt, but product buildup. And there's some ingredients in hair care that creates buildup more than others. So the idea behind the method is to eliminate putting products in your hair that need such a harsh cleanser to remove them. So that means getting rid of silicones and some humectants that can create buildup, and then you have to use a strong shampoo to get rid of them. So if you eliminate the buildup products, that means you don't have to use the shampoo with sulfates. So it's just really paying attention to ingredients in your products, and knowing that you can wash your hair without overly drying it, just to remove all that stuff. I've tried that method for me personally, and I find it to be really hard to consistently use products without sulfates and silicones. I personally like silicones in my hair. I find them to be really helpful, and I don't wash my hair I wash my hair twice a week. If you do true curly girl method, that's like too much. But I get sweaty, I get itchy, I get scalp issues. I find that I need to wash my hair more than like once a month. I know I'm exaggerating, but it's just a method that tends to work for a lot of curly haired people. It keeps your hair more nourished, but it's also a method that doesn't really allow for dyeing your hair blonde or coloring your hair or using any sort of heat tools. Like, you can use a diffuser, but you're not really going to be using a curling iron, a blow dryer in the normal way, a straightener. You're never going to straighten your hair. And I like the variety of hairstyles that I want to achieve. Sometimes I want my hair to be straight, sometimes I want to be curly. So this method isn't really for me, but I'm bringing it up, and sorry for the tangent, because I know some of you are interested in wanting to know, is this a curly girl friendly line? And so far the shampoo is sulfate free, but there are some ingredients that you might want to have some caution about. And I'm going to link a website that you can enter in ingredients and see if it's curly girl approved. And that's the site I used. I'll link it below. It's called Is It CG. You put in each ingredient separated by a comma, and it will tell you if the product is approved or not, and breaks down by ingredient. You know, approved, approve with caution, probably okay, not okay. So with this one, there are humectants. There's polyquats, which can build up on fine hair. There's some conditioning agents that are water soluble but can build up over time. There are some clarifying ingredients that probably should be used sparingly. There are some cleansing agents that could be drying in here. But it also has some good stuff, some gentle cleansers and preservatives. So I think overall I'm glad to see that this is sulfate free, for sure. One of the few available from the Kerastase brand. So I'm going to go through each product, and then at the end I'm going to mention a couple other options you might want to consider if some of this stuff doesn't sound like it's meant for you. I want you to know that Kerastase has other offerings that you might like. On to the conditioner. Again, travel size. This is Fondant Hydration Essentielle. This is the conditioner. The French names are the biggest font, and Fondant is usually conditioner, Bain is the shampoo, if you're wondering. So conditioner, this is 75 milliliters, the size for $24, or you can get the normal size 200 milliliters for $42. This has silicones in it, so it is not curly girl approved, just because they are hard to remove and you need a harsher shampoo to remove them, so that's a no-no. It also has some isopropyl alcohol, which is a drying ingredient, and it has humectants. And the main humectant I think that's highlighted in this product is the honey. Honey can build up in your hair, and it's one of those things that can attach to moisture, and it might just attach to the moisture in your hair and make it even drier. I know that sounds crazy, but if you're in a dry, hot environment and you have humectants in your hair, it might just reach for the water in your hair. Anyways, I don't want to get too sciencey because I don't really know what I'm talking about, but humectants are one of those things that you have to be careful about depending on where you live. For the conditioner, it looks like a typical sort of conditioner. It looks kind of like a lotion, a body lotion. This one is creamy. It's not like super wet. It's like a good medium creamy texture. It's not like the thickest conditioner. It's like right in the middle, a happy medium for a conditioner. I think a lot of people are going to be happy with this because it's not super thick. But I will say there's going to be certain curl types that prefer something thicker and more dry. This is not super wet, but it's not super dry. It's a little bit wet. And I think you can see the light reflecting how much water is in there. But it's a nice texture. I think some of you are going to want a little bit more from this, and some of you are going to be happy that it's not too thick. So again, there's only one shampoo offering, one conditioner offering in this collection for all the different curl types. Next we have the Masque. This is Masque Beurre Haute Nutrition, which is the extra rich, nourishing mask treatment. It says for very curly and coily hair. There's only one mask offering. I'm sure the people with regular curly and wavy hair could use this as well, just maybe not as much. I don't know. This is size is 75 milliliters for $26. The larger size is 200 mils, $62. 500 ml, which is a big bottle, $116. This does also have silicone in it. I think the ingredients are similar to the conditioner, except this is, of course, thicker. Not the thickest conditioner I've seen from Kerastase. You still can see some shine. It's still got some wetness, so it's going to spread really easily. It's not like a dry, thick, creamy conditioner. It's like a good medium wetness mask. And sorry, I said conditioner, it's a mask. And you can leave this in your hair for 30 minutes wet, rinse it out. You can leave it longer, but that's the texture of this one, like a thicker lotion. This is what it looks like in the packaging. So those are the core products: the shampoo, the conditioner, the mask. That's true for every collection. Fourth product is the leave-in cream. This is the Creme de Jour Fundamentale, the daily moisturizing frizz-reducing leave-in treatment. It says it's for curly, very curly, and coily hair. This is 50 mils for $22. There's also 150 mils for $39. You put this in wet hair, not in dry hair, and you leave it in. It's also a heat protectant. You rake and scrunch to encourage your curl pattern. It provides intense hydration, frizz reduction, detangles, heat protection. If you like a leave-in cream, I think this is going to make sense to you. I think you're going to know if you like creams or not. I certainly love creams for my hair type. You know, there are other leave-in products in this line, and you might be confused what to get. This also has silicones in it. Okay, on to the Blond Absolu Redefining Restyling Spray. Travel size again. This is 45 mils for $22 or 190 mils for $40. This is a humidity shield. It defines curls, creates frizz control, reactivates moisture, and shapes and shines. Usually use refresh sprays for second, third, fourth day hair, basically any day that's after the first day of washing. When your hair tends to get a little bit out of line, you may sleep on it. For me, when I sleep on it, the curl pattern moves around, it gets frizzy, I get bedhead, and I just need to put my hair back in place. And this helps with that. It just kind of reactivates the products that are in your hair and gets them working again. A lot of times curly hair just sucks up products and it dries out, and it just needs a little bit of re-wetting to work again. So you don't have to like wash your hair every day to like make your hair look good. So this is a key product for curly hair. And I don't remember the last time Kerastase has had a refresh spray. I don't know if they've ever had one. So this is exciting. It has silicones in it. On to the 6th product, which I don't have. I didn't buy the next 2 products. So the next product is the oil. It's called the Huile Sublime Repair Oil. It's 50 milliliters for $51, and it basically does what every other hair oil does. It nourishes your hair. It helps, reduce the look of split ends. It, reduces frizz, smooths out your hair, all that good stuff. I don't know that there's anything noteworthy in that one. In this particular hair oil, I have other hair oils from Kerastase already, so I didn't want to pick this one up. But it does exist, and it's only in one size. The last product is the Gelee Curl Contour Gel Cream. I also didn't pick that one up, but I'm kind of regretting it because I didn't realize it was a gel cream. I thought it was just a gel, and to me, I don't really use gel that often. I have gels already, so I wasn't excited about using a gel, but when this first came out, there wasn't a lot of pictures, but when looking close up at the pictures, this looks more like a defining cream, which sounds more appealing than just a regular clear gel, because you get that crunchiness that I don't enjoy. So, oh well, maybe I'll pick it up and you'll see in a future video. But the gel cream comes in 2 sizes, the $22 for 45 milliliters, $39 for 150 milliliters, and it's supposed to create definition without crunch. It has shea butter, coconut oil. This one actually doesn't have silicone. So of the whole collection, the 2 products that are curly girl approved, at least from what I could see, is the shampoo and the gel cream. So if you are interested in picking up anything, you might want to pick those up. Those will be safe for you, but you can review the ingredients. They do have the full ingredient list on the Kerastase website. But the gel, it says you can twist your hair. So if you have that, really curly hair, coily hair, ringlets, and you like to twist your hair, it says you can use the gel to do that. I'm a little skeptical, but I don't do that kind of stuff. That's too much time for me, but hopefully it actually works to do that. It does have moisturizing alcohols, preservatives. Overall, I think there's like a couple things you want to watch out for on the ingredient list, but overall it's safe. It should be safe because there's no silicone in it. I just want to say before I start demoing and getting into further along the video, I think it's really important to know that when I start talking about what I like and what I don't like and what works for my hair and what doesn't, the most important thing I can suggest to you is to ask your stylist what products are going to work best for you. And in particular, if you go to a salon that sells Kerastase, they should really be able to tell you if anything from this line is going to work for your hair. They can see your hair up close. I cannot. They're going to be the best ones to tell you, yeah, you should use this, this, and this. And they'll probably tell you what order you should use it in. Because I know for me, should I use the cream first? Should I use the gel second? And should I use the oil third? Or should I use the oil first? That's a question I would have for my stylist. Also, how often should I wash my hair? How often should I use the mask? These are all really good questions for your stylist, and I hope you reach out to them. You could just text them. You don't have to visit the salon. But I know some of you do not have a Kerastase salon near you, and you buy your products online like I do. So I hope this video is helpful to you, but you should make your own decisions, and I don't want you to spend money on something that, you know, isn't going to work for you, but sometimes you never know until you try things, unfortunately. That's especially true for curly hair. You just don't know, but if you know that gels don't work for you and creams do, then go ahead and go for the cream. I mean, also, as I said, every product comes in a travel size except for the oil, so there's a little bit of less of a risk there. Let's get into the demo. My hair's gotten a lot drier since I have been talking, so I'm going to wet it before I put in the leave-in cream. I'm going to show you what that's like. Also, I will show you the spray since I didn't pump that out. You haven't seen that yet. So the cream you want to use with wet hair, that they specifically tell you to do that. So I'm going to use my pattern sprayer, just full of water. But normally you would come out of the shower with washed hair and you'd put this in wet hair. So this isn't a necessary step, but my hair got dry, so. And to give you a clue about my hair, if you want to know if your hair's similar, I have I don't know, some people say each strand is thick and coarse. Other people just say I have dense hair, like I also have just a lot of hair follicles. I don't really know. I think I have a lot of hair. Both of my parents have thick hair. My dad has a full head of hair in his 70s, so does my mom. Like, it's genetic. When I was young, I had ringlets. I think if I cut my hair, it would more easily have ringlets. But now I just kind of have these wavy clumps. I think it's pretty curly, but it's not as bouncy curly or coily as other people's. I do dye my hair. I highlight my hair. I don't dye it. I highlight it and tone it. So it's pretty damaged, but I will say my hair is naturally dry even if I don't color my hair. Even when I was a kid, my hair was always dry. That's very typical of curly hair. Our natural oils don't get to our ends, so our hair is just dry all the time. Even if I don't heat style, I don't color treat, it's a dry head of hair. But I will say heat styling and highlighting it makes it worse. So that's my hair type. It's always been a struggle. I always have frizz. I always have manageability issues. I tangle really easily under here. Just my hair rubbing across my back during the day creates tangles back there. My sister used to call me rat's nest. Yeah, so that's just background on my hair. So we are trying Creme de Jour Fundamentale. And putting this in, this is very wet and lotiony. This is even more wet than the conditioner or the mask. So you can see how much the light's reflecting off. I'd say this is one of the lighter cream leave-ins from Kerastase. I think this is really meant to create lightweight hydration. So this isn't gonna smooth your hair that well. It's not gonna, like, you might get a little bit of frizz reduction, but it's not gonna be like a super frizz reducer in my opinion. And I just kind of smooth it through my hair, but you could section it off, rake it through, and do the scrunch method. I think probably that would be the ideal method for me. Rake it through, scrunch, just to make sure the product's like well distributed, kind of combing it through. But you can do praying hands, the kind of smoothing method that I did at first as well. I don't think this product is meant for like twisting, but I'm sure you could try doing that as well. Whatever your method is to kind of put product in your hair. My hair on top tends to be a little bit straighter, you'll notice, and underneath it's more curly, but the top layer's a little bit straighter. That's how it's always been. So that's what that's like. I will say, you know, if you're putting it in really wet hair, the smell dissipates, but that's always been true for me. Like any shampoo, conditioner, mask, you can smell it when my hair's wet, but when my hair's dry, I can't really smell it. But the leave-in stuff, the refresh spray, I can smell this the most because you're kind of spraying it in dry hair, so it sticks around longer. If you put this in kind of semi-dry hair like I am, you'll probably smell this a lot longer. So let's try out the refresh spray. I mean, this is just freshly washed hair, so you won't get to really see the magic. But when I've used this, what I normally do, dry hair, I spray it with water first, because if I just use this and no water, I'd be using up all the product in one go. So I like to activate the product already in my hair with a little bit of water. And some people find water is enough to refresh their hair, but sometimes you may not have enough product in your hair, so you need kind of a defining spray like this. So I'm sure the full-size bottle sprayer is different than this. This is a little bit of a concentrated spray nozzle. Oh, but it smells really good. I actually used this earlier today before I washed, mixed it with water, and I was pretty impressed by how my hair looked. Like it looked like I just washed it. So I'm happy with how this one works, but I would really recommend doing water first and then spraying it in and scrunching. And then don't touch your hair after that, because you'll likely create frizz. At least for me, I'm the hair type where don't touch it. So that's the demo for those two leave-in products. Overall, I think this curly hair line, I'm happy to have it. I always want something for curly hair because we have dryness issues, we have our special needs that other folks don't have. So I'm happy that this line exists. And I think this is designed to appease most curly hair people, like the baseline coverage, the more normal curly types, if there is one, or the more normal hair conditions of curly hair. You know, as I said, there's one shampoo offering, one conditioner, one mask. There's 4 leave-ins, and if you look at the website, I mean, besides the refresh spray, they actually suggest using the oil, the cream, and the gel together for some hair types. That may seem like a lot of product to people that don't have curly hair, but having all of those might be like magic for you. This is an expensive line, so I don't want to say like, oh, this probably will only work if you buy all the products. I don't know that. I don't have them all. I think it's really going to depend on your hair type and how well you know your hair. So for me, I feel like buying the oil and the gel probably isn't going to be the magic solution, but I'm open to it. But I think overall, this is like your baseline light hydration. I think the main overall theme of this is light hydration, soft hair, and maintaining volume. This is not your frizz-reducing smoothing line. This is like, I want big curls that are soft and hydrated. That's the main point of this line. If that's what you're looking for, you like a lot of volume, I think you're going to be happy with this. But if you have major dryness, major hydration needs, you have a good amount of damage, you'll probably want a little bit more from this line that you won't get. I know that sounds like really harsh, but I think this is a good baseline. What I'm hoping is Kerastase breaks off into different options depending on your hair type, like We probably need a shampoo for very dry hair, very thick hair, coily hair. We probably need something richer. On the other hand, if you have really thin hair, you may want even lighter hydration. So on the other end of the spectrum, something even lighter than this. I just think they're appealing to the masses, and probably business-wise, this collection makes sense. But we're missing out on some folks. And maybe those folks don't buy a lot of Kerastase. I know, so that's just kind of like my overall critique of the line. I want to see more. I want to see this expand. I'm hoping this line does well, so we can get more. This video like encourages you to try it out and not deter you, but I do think there's gonna be some people that want different options, and I'll get into the details so you know what I'm talking about. So for me, what do I think about the shampoo? I think I was surprised that I liked it because it's a nice, gentle, creamy shampoo. Like it feels gentle on my hair. Like it's not sudsy. It feels like a nice sulfate-free. And sometimes sulfate-free shampoos are really not satisfying, but I felt like this cleaned my hair without stripping it, and I enjoyed it. This is one of the products that I would consider picking up in the future for like a daily shampoo once I run out of my other stuff. I was impressed with this. It's gonna be like for your daily, everyday kind of shampooing. If you want something more like a co-wash conditioner shampoo, this isn't quite it. This is definitely shampoo. It's a good everyday gentle shampoo. Now if you have toning needs, color needs, you might want to consider adding an additional shampoo besides this, but for your curly needs, this is a good one. The conditioner, I think I tried this without the mask, and I tried it, with the mask on top, and then I just tried the mask by itself. I think this is a little bit light for me. I think, as I said, if you have pretty normal curly hair, it's not super dry, you'll probably like this. It's not enough for me. I want a drier, thick, creamy conditioner. I want to feel nourished. I want more oil in it. It's too wet. It's too light. The problem for me in this line is I want volume reduction. I want more frizz reduction. I want more smoothing. I don't want the big volume soft curls. I want them to be controlled. So this doesn't reduce my frizz, doesn't really reduce volume or frizz much for me, and it's not hydrating enough. Like, my hair doesn't feel that soft after I use it. It feels a little bit soft. It smells good. It could be better. The mask, again, same thoughts as the conditioner. Not dry enough, not thick enough, not creamy enough. I want more hydration. I want more repair. This kind is nice. It makes my hair soft, but not the softest it's ever been. So I just think I need more from this shampoo and conditioner trio. The leave-ins, the cream, I actually like. I think this is a improved curl cream from the one I have, and I'll show you that later. It's not super defining though, and it does create a little bit of definition and softness. I'm not like super impressed with it. It's better than the one I have, but I don't know if I would get a big bottle. And I'm sure it works for, heat protection. It's just Kerastase has other offerings that provide heat protection that I would probably prefer. The refresh spray I actually found useful and I like, and I would consider picking up the big bottle. I think it works, it does the job. The only problem is I think I'm gonna fly through it, and it's expensive, so there's that. But yeah, so that's what my thoughts on each product. I need the stuff for the thicker hair, the more damaged hair. I need that spin-off line of this one. Let's talk about the scent real quick. You guys might be wondering, okay, what does tuberose smell like? What is white musk and honey? Let's talk about fragrance. So this is like a white floral, quintessential white floral fragrance. So think about flowers that are white. and they're typically really feminine smelling, really sweet. And because of that, this scent might be polarizing for some people. You might really love it or really hate it. And it also has honey, which makes it even sweeter. Frangipani, white musk. It's a little bit much, but to me, like, I've smelled some tuberose that is a little bit sickening. This isn't for me, but I can steer you toward the products that won't smell like that all day if you're worried. Like, stick with the shampoos and conditioners that you put in wet hair. Stick with this that you put in wet hair, and even the gel will probably be fine. But the oil and spray, that scent's probably going to stick around a little bit longer, so you might want to avoid those if you're worried about the smell. But this white florals can be sickly sweet to some people. Some people may think you smell like a grandma. I have smelled grandma-like fragrance shampoos, and I'm thinking of the brand Leonore Greyhill, that brand. That smells straight up like grandma fragrance, and it is so strong I hated it. This is not that, but it is a strong floral. So if you don't love florals, you probably won't enjoy this one that much, but I absolutely love it. To me, this is one of the best scented lines from Kerastase in my opinion, but I'm a huge fan of white floral, so just wanted to point that out. Let's talk about other offerings you may want to consider from Kerastase if you're like me and you want something for more hydration, more smoothing, and you have blonde needs. So if you go on the Curl Manifesto section of the website, and they have like a Q&A section, which I think is really helpful. And they reference the Discipline line, which is like a dark orange line like this. That's the Discipline line. This doesn't exist anymore, by the way. And the Discipline line is not new. It's older. I think they're phasing out some of the products. But I think it's popular enough. I'm not really sure how well this line is doing. But this Discipline line is to reduce frizz, to smooth, to reduce natural volume, which you would think I would like, because that's what I'm looking for. Well, I've tried the shampoo and the conditioner and mask, and I wasn't really impressed. I didn't think it did much for me, to be honest. And they do have a subset of the Discipline line, the Oleo line, which is like for, like me, like thick, dry hair, and it's got a lot of oil in it. That Oleo line has been around forever, but of course they've redone it several times, and they still do have an Oleo Relax shampoo, mask, and hair oil. I find the hair oil to be really thick, a little bit too much for me, but I find the shampoo and mask to be like not great. And they used to have a curl cream, the Oleo Curl. This has looked different in the years past. This is the latest one, but they don't have it anymore. I got this last year. They don't have it anymore. So they kind of had some curl offerings in the Discipline line, but not anymore. So that makes me a little bit sad. But this is okay. It's another leave-in cream. It's a heat protectant. It's a smoother for unruly curly hair. It's a definition and suppleness cream. Natural feel, curls feel smoother, supple look defined, has thermoprotective properties, blah blah blah. Ooh, that's runny. I think it's okay. I mean, I think this is a more generic smell, and probably a lot of people will like this smell more if you're concerned about smell. I think the texture looks pretty similar to Creme de Jour, but it does feel a little bit heavier. I'll go ahead and just put it in my hair so I don't waste it. But again, like, this has been reformulated. It's not as good as what it used to be, and that's probably why it doesn't exist anymore. It's just not, it's heavier, but it's not enough oils. Like, it feels very wet, and when it dries, it just doesn't do much. I felt like this gave me a little bit more hydration than the Oleo Curl, but not a lot. But the Discipline line you may find to be a little bit better, but I think if you have curly hair, I would be cautious about trying Discipline. I don't know that you're going to be satisfied with that one either, but they do talk about it on the website that that is more for smoothing. Also, if you want another sulfate-free shampoo offering from this brand, Discipline shampoo that's sulfate-free, it's called Bain Fluid Idoliste. You can check that out. So the Discipline line has of course, shampoo, conditioner, mask, also a heat protectant and anti-frizz spray. Alright, I haven't tried the anti-frizz spray or the heat protectant, only like the Oleo Curl one. Let's talk about blonde needs for a second, and some of these things I'm going to talk about in the Blond Absolu range, which is also very new. I actually prefer over the stuff in the Curl Manifesto range, especially if you're trying to help with repairing and hydration. You're probably going to like this stuff more. If you have blonde hair, highlighted hair, you probably worry about brass and yellowness. I'm just going to mention this really quick. You may want a gentle shampoo. So I use this first and then I use this tonight. This is the purple toning shampoo, Bain Ultraviolet. If you have blonde, you may want to use this in conjunction with a gentle shampoo. This is very drying, but it does a good job of toning. It's a dark purple. I recommend. But it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with curly hair. The Blond Absolu line has a clear shampoo that's for cleansing. It's like a daily kind of everyday, I need to clean my hair shampoo. You don't have too many special needs, except that you want your hair to be shiny. I don't really recommend this one. It's okay. I think I would prefer the Curl Gentle shampoo for my everyday wash. But if you have like very damaged hair, shampooing is a damaging experience for you, they do have a co-wash type of shampoo, and that's what I'm going to call it. That's not Kerastase would call it, but it's called the Bain Cica Extreme. You know, you can't really read that. Comes in a tub, but this is like a very conditioning shampoo, and you just get your hair done, you just did some sort of chemical treatment, or your hair's just really ragged. This is a super conditioning shampoo. It's not a co-wash. I'm not sure it's Curly Girl approved, to be honest. Yeah, it has sulfates in it, but it is so thick and creamy and dry. Like, you guys can see that, right? Like, it's not very runny at all. This type of product, you want to be careful actually to not put too much, because it won't wash, it doesn't wash out super well. Like, you want to put as little as possible. It's very gentle, it's not sudsy, it's more like a conditioner. So you don't want to put this and then a mask, a thick mask on top, at least not too much of a mask, because you might find that you have product buildup and your hair won't dry as well because it didn't rinse out. So this is something to consider if you want like a really gentle shampoo sometimes, like even gentler than this. And you don't have to worry about being blonde. Anyone can use this. There's no toning. It's white, it's not purple. So anyone that needs a really gentle shampoo, try the Bain Cica Extreme. Now, the conditioner, the Blond Absolu line, Cica Flash. This is just a sample. I went through a full bottle of it, the full-size bottle of it, and I felt like the Cica Flash conditioner, it's very light purple, so you're going to not really get much of toning at all, in my opinion. It's just too light, not enough color in it. So I wouldn't worry too much if you're not blonde using a light purple conditioner. But I found that Cica Flash made my hair a lot softer than the Curl Manifesto conditioner, which I thought was really interesting. So this satisfied my hydration needs more than this one. For Masque from the Blond Absolu line, I found this to be super hydrating. This is the Masque Cica Extreme Sensitized Lightened or Highlighted Hair. This is also white, so you don't have to worry about toning if you don't have highlighted hair. Sorry, my hair's in there. And this is a much drier mask. It's not wet that much. It's like barely, yeah, I don't think it's wet at all. It's more of those drier, creamy types that I was talking about that I really like. Doesn't reflect light as much. And this is, when my hair's super dry, this is what I want. And my hair's super dry most of the time. So this is like a little bit goes a long way. Your hair's wrecked. You may not want to use this every week, but I really found this to be way more hydrating than the Curl Manifesto mask. So this is why I brought this up, because there are other things out there from Kerastase. If you have stronger hydration needs, that you may want to try the Blond Absolu range. And if you want to know about the smell from the purple range, it's Edelweiss. So it's very herbal. It's a little bit more gender neutral, a little bit more easygoing. It's not my favorite herbal scent. I think the oil, I also have the little oil, which is okay. It's silicone-y. It's not like mind-blowing. But the oil, I mean, they all smell like Edelweiss. Kind of like a grassy smell, I guess. It's a little bit strong in dry hair. I also have the overnight serum. A little bit strong of a smell. These are not have-to-haves, but you know, I'm just telling you, I've tried a lot of stuff, and comparing across the different collections, I don't know, like I wanted to really like everything from Curl Manifesto, but I feel like I just want more from it. Also gonna bring up some of their other collections. Nutritive, this is your basic normal hairline, but I think the Nutritive Masque Intense is still a classic and really good. If you're wondering about the Reflection line, you may think, oh, I have colored hair. What about this pink line? I believe this is for just regular colored hair, not necessarily blonde or highlighted. Resistance is also available. It's a repair line. It's been reformulated a lot. This is the Resistance Extension Use Thermique Caring Gel Cream. Sorry, I don't know if I've used this before, this exact product, but I have tried things from Resistance. I think Resistance is okay. I think my favorite line currently right now, most of the stuff from Blond Absolu, I'm liking more than anything else. This is a lot of detail, and this is a really long video. But I hope you learned something. I hope you use the timestamps. And if you're still watching, thank you. A quick note about Kerastase overall. I hate how much this brand reformulates, repackages. It's insane. It's insane. I mean, and I feel like a lot of the curly hair stuff doesn't stick around either. Because I think it's just must not be a popular line for the company, and I think it makes sense they went for a curl line that appeals probably to most people, and it's not gonna make the driest of people happy or the thinnest of hair happy. It's just that nice baseline to meet most people's needs. And if you have other, super dry needs, they do have other lines you can tap into. So it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm glad they went with a white floral scent. That does make me really happy. If you have questions about the curly girl method, I'm not an expert by any means. I learned about it through Reddit, and I tried it for a little while, but it's really hard to like change. I mean, if I have a ton of products, it's hard for me to just like throw out a bunch of expensive luxury hair care that has sulfates and silicones in it. It's just not something I could do. And honestly, I don't think buildup is an issue for me. For me, it's more about like getting regular haircuts, making sure I mask, making sure I don't use heat styling too much, and just being nice to my hair. I don't know, paying attention to it, and just keeping up with haircuts. You know, I would appreciate some consistency from this brand. I think they lose a lot of customers when they're always reformulating because something isn't selling. But don't forget to reach out to your stylist. Ask about Curl Manifesto. Ask them what they think. I know some stylists, like, they're not going to use all these products. Like, I would bet you that they're not using a refresh spray in the salon. I doubt that they're going to use a gel. I mean, unfortunately, like, natural curly hairstyles are not, like, a popular salon hairdo. Like, usually they don't let people walk out with naturally wet hair and say bye. But oftentimes I ask for that because I don't want my hair blow dried and I'm ready to go. And they're like, really? You just want to leave with wet hair? I'm like, yeah. So your stylist might be more familiar probably with the oil, maybe the leave-in cream, and maybe they've tried some of the shampoo, conditioner, and mask on the clients, and they can tell you if they like it or not. Anyways, I think if you try to take a quiz on Kerastase's website, you might find that helpful. But honestly, if you have hair like mine, you're curly, you're dry, you're damaged, you're highlighted, like, I could try 5 different collections from this brand. So then they ask you, well, what do you want to change about your hair the most? And then that's the line they point you towards. Is that really a great way to figure out what you need? Probably not. So talk to your stylist. Alright guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Please comment below if you have any questions. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.